What questions do you have for us this evening?
Okay, so there was a woman who we were listening to on the television who claims to be able to clear people's karma through the Akashic records. She's called an Akashic record cleaner or something like that. She does things for people to clear their, I guess, past karmas that's still affecting them.
Yes.
So, if this is true, then there must be somebody out there who we could get out non-physical, who we could get in touch with and have our records cleansed.
Yes, certainly.
And why in the world would we not do that?
Oh, I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
Because we didn't know it was possible.
Well, we stated very clearly that you are suffering. Your back pain is caused primarily by past life issues of abandonment. These
That's what I hear.
Yes. The issue of the mattress is not helping.
Right.
It's exacerbating the problem, but the root issue is the old historical. Would you like to have that erased?
Absolutely, I'd like to have.
Okay, in order to facilitate, we can facilitate the process. Understand that requires that you must be willing to confront all temptation to abandon in this moment. In order to be in agreement with this clearing. And this is how karma is cleared. Yes, we can contribute to clearing old. Let's just speak about this particular one for an example around the abandonment. Yes, we can clear it. But if you fall out of alignment by acting in a way that is in alignment with abandonment later today or tomorrow, then the work will not remain. You understand? So the way you clear these things, we can offer our assistance, but we would prefer that you learn how to do this yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so this is how it is done. It's very simple. It comes into your awareness. Okay, I see. I am aware. I have an issue around abandonment. It is from a past life. I'm not aware of when, where, how, or why. But I know it is there because I see the fruit of it in my current now existence, my current reality frame. So you know it is there. You don't need all the details. You want to clear it. The quickest way to clear it is to, in the now moment that presents abandonment to you, fall out of alignment with it. Stop agreeing with it. So, for instance, if you are in the moment and something is confronting you, it is painful, you don't want to deal with it, it is frustrating, you want to abandon the situation, you want to get in your car and leave, you want to go in the other room, whatever your temptation to fall into agreement with abandonment is, the way you clear that karma is to refuse to cooperate with abandonment in that moment. Does that make sense?
For how long?
And you will feel the energy clear.
Till I feel the energy clear.
Yes, and you do it over and over again until it is gone. You do it over and over again until you no longer have the temptation to abandon anyone. Most importantly, yourself or anyone else. Now, you're dealing with abandonment on two fronts. It is a temptation to abandon yourself and also to abandon others. So you're dealing with it on two fronts. So in every moment when you feel discomfort or dis-ease or irritation, frustration, the desire to vacate the premises, the desire to get away from someone, the desire to fight with someone, these are revealing areas where you're abandoning yourself or abandoning the other. And in that moment, if you can shift your energy and fall out of agreement with abandonment and come close, rather than moving away. You see, abandonment will cause you to seek separation from someone else. So this is your main key point when you feel that you want to separate from someone else. This is this old karmic issue. And if in that moment you can make a better choice not to separate from the one that you don't want to be with in that moment, you can conquer this and clear all the old karma. So our first offering of assistance is in this truth telling and this teaching, because we are always available for assistance, but we will say it in this way, and we don't mean in any way for this to be condescending. It is just illustrative. Okay, so if you have a young child and they get to be about kindergarten or so, and you realize they are able to begin to use their fingers to tie their own shoe, you begin to teach them to tie their own shoe, you see. And sometimes you may be in a hurry and you don't want to wait for the length of time it will take for the child to tie their shoe. And so you tie their shoe so you can get out the door, you see. But ultimately, if time continues on and on and on, and the child is getting older and all of his classmates know how to tie their shoe, but he does not, then you must then teach maybe once or twice more and then leave him to tie his shoe, you see. And so this is how we are with you. We're happy to tie your shoe when you cannot. Happy to. And then when you get to a point where you're able to do it yourself, we want to start teaching you how to do it. And we will teach and teach and teach very patiently. And sometimes if you get in a jam and there are constraints in your circumstance, we will tie it for you while you are learning. But ultimately, we want you to learn how to tie your own shoe. And in this case, we're talking about clearing Akashic records of unwanted karma.
Yeah, so I want to learn how to do it myself.
Okay, so you can do it. So we have shown a light here to just this one particular issue, and your wife has the same issue, the issue of abandonment. This is part of your mutual attraction to one another. You both have harmed each other seriously with both emotional and physical abandonment in past lives and in more than one. This is why you are both really struggling around this issue now, because this is your opportunity for both of you to be free of this old karma. Now, your wife, we will just go ahead and give you some illumination if you would like. In a past life, when the two of you were married and you went off to war, though she pleaded with you not to go, and you did not come back. And she was inconsolable, utterly inconsolable. You see. And so as you grow nearer to the time of your natural death, whenever that time will be, she will experience this again if she does not deal with this abandonment. And she has been confronting it, and you have been successfully helping her with it. You're both very aware of how this is manifesting for her in the episodes, and you're doing very well with coaching her through it. And as she nears the point in which, when the trigger of abandonment comes, that she is able to stay and not move or leave and lean into the discomfort, then she will be completely free of it. And now the converse is also true. There was another lifetime in which the two of you were together, and it was you who experienced the abandonment from her.
So then why did not one complete the karma from the other time? I thought if somebody killed somebody, then they had to be killed by the other person to clear the karma. So if I abandoned her and she abandoned me, doesn't that make us equal?
Doesn't it cancel it out?
Yeah.
Well, her pain from your death remains imprinted in her soul as abandonment. And primarily because you left against her wishes to go to war. And we're not faulting you. You did what you felt to be right. Mm-hmm. There's no judgment there. You were fighting for a cause that was important to you, and you were doing your duty. But she did not want you to go, and she certainly felt abandoned by your death, though she did not blame you, you see. Mm-hmm. It was still very painful.
So I guess that doesn't quite answer. I thought that karma was if you mistreated somebody, say somebody had cancer, and you were married to a woman and she had cancer, and you abused her and didn't take care of everything, then in another lifetime, if you got cancer...
Well, it's a little more complex than that.
Okay.
Well, we will say part of your journey together with COVID was a resolving of some of this karmic issue, because there was an opportunity for the playing field to be leveled, which is what you are speaking of, in that she would leave the body first. And you would experience what she had experienced. And you did, to some great degree. You actually experienced the trauma of just the thought of her leaving you and your being abandoned. And it was very traumatic, very similar to the emotional feelings that she had when you died in this other life, you see. But she did not leave the body. So you see, there was a conquering, a victory over some of this karma, in that she did not leave the body this time. You see?
So because she didn't leave the body, it's not cleared, but if she left the body, it would have been cleared.
No.
No?
She is conquering and clearing the old karma by not leaving the body. In choosing to stay in her body, staying with you, she was choosing not to abandon.
Okay, but I'm talking...
Which is what that you did in the other life, you abandoned. So she was clearing some of the negative karma for both of you by not leaving the body.
Okay, so, but what I'm saying is, as far as my karmic debt to that, because...
Well, you're misunderstanding. Let us explain a little different way.
Okay.
Okay, so clearing karma is not a tit for tat.
Oh.
That is not what it is.
Okay.
What it is it is conquering the root issue by choosing a different response. So the way that this particular scenario is cleared is not a tit for tat even exchange.
Okay.
It's not that.
I see.
The core issue here is abandonment, a feeling of despair of losing the other.
Okay.
Okay, she has lost you in a life and you have lost her in a life. And it's caused you both deep pain. And this is why you're constantly in a back and forth of being tempted to abandon each other.
Okay.
In both small and large ways. Small and large ways. Okay, little ways like she doesn't listen to you, or little ways for her like she can't have the yard done. These sorts of things. Little ways and big ones like I'm going to pack my bags and leave, or she's going to die, or he's going to die, you see. So the victory and the clearing comes when both of you are conscious of the construct of abandonment in the moment, and you choose to move towards one another rather than abandoning one another.
That's the part that I'm not sure I will be able to recognize. That's what bothers me, because I didn't recognize any of this before. It was quite.
It's okay. Well, last night was it?
When that was, and I still, the thing that gets me is that usually when some truth is said to me, I have an emotional response if it's true.
Okay, well, you're free to disregard it.
No, I don't. I trust. I would guess that I repress it so much that I don't know. But no, I wanna do this.
And remember, it is twofold. It is not abandoning others, and it is also not abandoning yourself.
So not abandoning others, see, that's a whole different story, because what is abandoning somebody? So if somebody comes to me and I see that there's a problem, but they don't want my help, and I'm just wasting my energy, and I say, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
We can't help you there because you're hung up on a judgment.
Oh.
You're saying that you're wasting your time, and you don't know that to be true.
Right.
You don't know that to be true, and because you have this judgment, you're ignoring some crucial evidence. For instance, with the young man last night, he came around.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not have to do that. And he was also very sensitive. He was showing love to you by not asking for a treatment because he could see that you were tired.
Well, see, I want him to ask. I want to know that he really wants it.
Well,
so that's wrong.
Yeah, different perceptions. You want him to ask, but he was showing in his own way love for you by not asking.
Okay.
You see, so you see, he is not abandoning. And think back to, and this is another young man who is in your life because he has this same karmic debt of abandonment. And that is why whenever you get around him, you really want to run, because he is exuding the energy, the message. It is like he has a sign on his forehead that says, abandon me. You see?
Another person?
Yes, the young man.
You mean
the son. The vessel's son.
Right. Okay, I thought you were
Okay, so he also has a lot of past life abandonment. Okay, and so the three of you, the reason the reason the three of you are getting entangled in these triangles is because you all three have karmic debts, deep karmic debts around abandonment. And this is why this is why your wife is so deeply triggered. You see? So he has, because he exudes this past life energy is so strong and dense that needs to be cleared, it is as if he has a sign on his head that says, abandon me. So when he comes around, you are naturally going to want to abandon him. You will want to do that because that is the message he is exuding, you see. But he can help you. This is why she said why we said in the channel last night, he is your mirror. You see, your mirror, your mirror, your mirror. Look and see. You see that you both have this same karmic clearing that needs to happen. And he can clear it for you and you can clear it for him. So when you feel compelled, utterly compelled to abandon him, you must think a much higher thought. Because you are whole. You are whole. Your 5D self is whole and unharmed, and loves this young man with all purity and all patience and all kindness. And his 5D self also is pure and loving and loves you with all patience and all kindness. And if you can both resist the urge to abandon, then your karmic energy will be cleared. Now, this is why your wife said to you on the occasion when the young man left, got in his car, but then turned around and came back and continued on with his work with you. You see, this was a major victory for him because he was undermining the karmic energy of abandonment. He started to act in agreement with his karmic energy of abandonment, but he made a conscious choice to turn around and come back and not abandon you or himself. And in that, he cleared an enormous amount of karma. You see?
Yes, and I didn't say anything mean to him or anything.
Of course not. That's right. Well done. And so we're just pointing out this is how the karma is cleared. It's cleared in the now moment. It is cleared in the now moment with intentional, conscious work on the issue that presents itself. This one in particular that we're speaking of as an example is the abandonment. And so you are even aware of this. You said to your wife the other day, you opened the door, but you did not get out. That was a victory. You were correct. You were correct. Because when she feels the old abandonment triggered, if she's able to not abandon herself or others in the moment, she is clearing the karma every time she does that. And you have helped her along the way. Remember, barring the door so she could not go. This is how you helped her in clearing the abandonment. Because when she feels abandoned by others, we are not saying that you've abandoned her. We are saying that the old karmic pattern is triggered by the moment. And so when she feels that, what the karmic message of her past lives will tell her to do is to abandon you or to abandon herself. You see. Is this helping some?
Yes, it just seems like there's got to be an easier way.
Well, how about if we give a transmission around this issue to assist?
No, I want to work through this. Let me see if I can't work through this. I see what you're saying, and I think I can tell when I'm doing that so that I cannot do that. That's my concern. Am I consciously aware when I am responding in that way. That's what I'm concerned with, because I never really thought that was true, but
well, let me ask you this.
but I know it's true because when you talk about Joe, that part I know is true.
Okay, well, let us ask you this. Are you aware when your wife is responding in abandonment?
Yes.
Okay, so guess what? She is aware when you are responding.
Okay.
So if you can listen to one another, we can make a lot of progress.
So it's okay if she makes me aware that I'm doing that.
If you can receive it, yes.
Yeah, I'll receive it. I just need to know I'm doing it.
Yes, of course. And we would be happy to help you with an energetic transmission.
Okay, probably, but I probably need it. But one more question.
Yes.
All right, so there are times, I don't think I've abandoned her much, but anyway, there are times when we get into an argument and she goes on and on and on and nothing is being accomplished, where I try to get away from her to stop that process.
Yes.
Now, do you consider that abandonment? Am I supposed to stay there and continue the argument?
No, but there are times when you say something such as, okay, let's stop talking, come sit with me. And there are ways that you can not abandon her, but you don't have to continue meaningless wranglings and conversation, right?
Well,
And there are times when you're not abandoning her, but she feels abandoned.
Okay.
And there are other times when she does not feel abandoned at all. And this is evidence of her clearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, give me the whatchamacallit.
All right, let's do it.
Unless, can I go to an enlightened person and have them just swish their hand over me and clear all this stuff? I guess.
Well, she's already done it, but you can't receive it, my dear, because of your unbelief.
Well, there's got to be.
And it's hard we understand it's difficult to receive from your wife. This is very commonplace.
Really?
Of course, yes. In the same way that you have had much truth and wisdom for her, that has been hard to receive at times. There is a saying in your culture. It is familiarity breeds contempt.
Well,
and so there is a very human tendency to hold contempt for one that you are very familiar with. And contempt is a strong word, but we will say unbelief. You tend to not believe that your wife could be the vessel of your miracle, but she could be if you can receive it.
I thought in the beginning I believed she could heal me. And I kept saying that to her, and then I got into trouble. She said, because I kept saying, why don't you heal me? So I thought, I really did. I consciously thought that she could.
Yes, and that was, that you were correct, and that was her fear responding. Her fear responding, that was a fearful egoic part that said, well, what if I can't? What if I'm not enough? What if I miss it?
Yeah.
And this is an area where you can help to have her back. For instance, with the young woman who asked to know where her ring was. Now, your wife has been concerned all week because she said in the channel where the ring was, and she's afraid it's not where she said it was. So, everyone needs to give her some grace to make mistakes.
I do. I tell her that all over and over again.
And she may or may not. You may have to remind her. Okay.
And I see her as an unlimited creative being. I see that. But anyway.
Okay. Well, let's all try to find a balance between. We will show you how to tie your shoe, and then sometimes you need to try it yourself.
Okay.
And then ultimately you will do it on your own.
So,
how about that?
Well, that's great. My only question is, are there a million things that I'm going to have to clear?
You have things to clear where you are currently struggling. So this is the gift of your struggle. Listen carefully. This is the gift of your struggle because it points to a place where you can get free. A place where you can get free. I mean, wouldn't you really like to clear all those old negative energies from your Akashic record?
Absolutely.
Certainly you would. And so you wouldn't know you needed to do it if you weren't having a struggle. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a gift.
But all my struggles don't have to be karmic either, or don't have to be from past lives. They could be from this life, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But that,
Okay.
yes.
I just,
But the ones that are very persistent, that are not moving, are basically either your own stubbornness and egoic nature of not wanting to let go of something. But if you really want to let it go and it's still there, and it's pervasive, and particularly if it's out of, out of proportion to the response that would be normal, you know it's past lives.
Okay.
You see? That's how you know. For instance, with your wife, when she wants to get out of the car, when the car is moving, that is largely out of proportion.
Yeah.
You see? And she knows that. She's intelligent enough to understand that. But there's lifetimes of energy behind the abandonment. And so in that moment, that small thing, the small thing that you've said or done, that, or maybe even large, that causes her to feel abandonment, has the impact or force of all the lives of abandonment behind it. And that is why she wants to get out of the car. You see, because it's like you might be for a metaphor. It's like you may be feel like you're tapping her with a toothpick, but she feels like she's being rammed with the trunk of a mighty oak tree. You see?
Yes, I do see.
Yeah.
So let me just say, let me put out there. If there's any being out there, any being that could clear karma from everybody that's on this planet would be an amazing place. It would be heaven.
Woo! Okay. All right. So we're going to bring in the Council of 12 for a light language transmission with the Pleiadians in conjunction with them. And the archangels to clear and wipe clean Akashic records of unwanted energies. Take a deep breath, and here we go. Take a deep breath. Oh, shit, to go down, to go to eat, to go to add, oh, get it, or take it, oh, shut the utaka. Take a deep breath. Yeah, feel that lightness coming in. Okay, chuche nta utitika utitekeshte. And now we are going to specifically clear from your Akashic record fear of death and fear of abandonment. Take a deep breath in. Okay, also, yes, take a deep breath. Now, we will expand by clearing all fear of rejection and man-pleasing spirits from your Akashic record. And here we go. Oh, etiki, uche intika, etete kiti, uche eki, ti oku, cha, teke, yitiki, tiki. Take a deep breath. And also, we would like to clear all misogyny and subservient ways from your Akashic record. Here we go. Hey, ichika, ukosa, shiniko, shiti, una, ete, wa, aniko, toto, shitiko, unda, rucha. Yinda, titiko, toto, shit, get out, get out. Now, what we would like to do is impart to you enlightenment, consciousness, discernment, and understanding for clearing Akashic records, both yours and others. Uche na kar sham ton cheche utike unda itike ura la liutor stenda kura titunta tia de kete utte shu no ura ntake te kiti takate te shatokuti ote hetaite. Take a deep breath. Now, lastly, we would like to issue a blanket, a big picture blessing so that you may, when you have been taught a spiritual truth by ourselves or other physical or non-physical beings that are enlightened teachings, and you have struggled to learn it like a child struggling to learn to tie their shoes. Now, for this transmission, now you will receive the enlightenment, understanding, discernment, and wisdom to tie your own shoes in these areas, so to speak. O you ya ru shweke vu savishi tikite on daite. Now we will say one last thing for the two of you, that the four of you who were in the room together yesterday evening are together for a specific purpose in this space and time, for all four of you to clear large amounts of karmic energy around abandonment. So lean in to one another and to these young men and be faithful to assist them in clearing the hurt of abandonment by loving them and demonstrating commitment to their soul and the growth of their soul, and by not tying their shoe for them, but teaching them how to tie their own shoes. And we are speaking specifically of teaching them how to recognize the pain of abandonment and rise above it by choosing to love and choosing to forgive and choosing not to abandon themselves for others.